Join me as I take on the challenge to crush my self-doubt and see if I can reach my goals faster than ever before. You know, after all these years of pushing forward, I've come to a hard truth. Your greatest obstacle isn't some rival standing in your way. It's not the competition, the circumstances, or even the setbacks. No, your biggest enemy is the voice inside your head, the one that tells you to slow down, to take it easy, to settle. It's that moment of weakness, that flicker of hesitation, that temptation to stop when the pain sets in. That's the real battle, the war against your own limits. And if you want to rise above, you have to silence that voice. I remember the first time I pushed myself past my breaking point. Every fiber of my being screamed at me to stop. Every instinct told me to step back. My body was failing, my lungs burned, my muscles felt like they would rip apart. But I didn't stop. I couldn't stop. Because I understood something most people never will. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the struggle, in the agony, in the moments when your mind begs you to quit and you refuse. That's where real strength is forged. Not just physical strength, but the kind of resilience that separates those who rise from those who remain stagnant. You see, most people think progress is about wanting it badly enough. They assume that sheer desire is enough to transform them. But that's a lie. Change doesn't come just because you hope for it. It comes from breaking yourself down and rebuilding stronger. It comes from pain, from necessity, from standing on the edge of collapse and choosing to go one step further when everyone else has already fallen. That's the difference between those who win and those who watch from the sidelines. I've trained in conditions that would break most people. I've pushed myself to exhaustion, to failure, to the brink of destruction, again and again. Not because it was easy, not because I enjoyed suffering, but because I knew one undeniable truth. In this world, there are only two kinds of people: those who stop when it hurts, and those who keep going. The ones who break past their limits are the ones who carve their own destiny. The rest, they get left behind. Your excuses mean nothing. I'm tired. I don't have time. It's too difficult. Do you hear yourself? That kind of thinking is the reason you're stuck. You've built a cage around yourself, made of comfort and hesitation, and then you wonder why you're not growing. Burn it down. Shatter every excuse you've ever made. Only then will you see what you're really made of. Only then will you understand what it means to evolve. I get it. Pushing yourself is painful. The unknown is terrifying. But listen carefully. Nothing great ever came from comfort. Every breakthrough, every transformation, every moment of undeniable progress, it all begins with struggle. Every time I faced an opponent who was stronger, faster, or more skilled, I didn't shrink back. I leaned in, because I knew that challenge was the only thing that could force me to level up. The moment you stop seeking out discomfort, you start decaying. You ever notice how those who endure the hardest trials come out sharper, stronger, and more unstoppable than before? That's not luck. That's a choice. You have two options every single day: retreat into the safety of what you know, or step into the fire and let it forge you into something greater. Pain isn't a signal to stop. It's the evidence that you're improving. Weakness fades when you push past it. The ones who understand this truth never ask, "When can I rest?" They ask, "How much further can I go?" Pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally. You think I enjoyed every moment of pushing my limits? That I relished every drop of sweat, every aching muscle, every setback? No, but I did it anyway. Because discipline always wins over motivation. The weak wait until they feel like improving. The strong, they show up no matter what. Get up earlier. Train harder. Sharpen your mind. Push yourself beyond what feels comfortable. Because every time you stop short, every time you settle, you are slowly killing the fire inside you. And once that fire dies, so does the warrior within. If you want to transform your life, there's one truth you need to accept. No one owes you anything. Strength isn't given, it's taken. Success doesn't show up at your doorstep just because you wished for it. The world doesn't care about your potential, your dreams, or how badly you want something. You either put in the work and claim what's yours, or you stay exactly where you are. There is no middle ground. You know what's interesting? The greatest breakthroughs often come from competition. Without a relentless rival breathing down your neck, without someone constantly forcing you to step up, it's easy to get complacent. The moment you start believing you're the best, you stop growing. That's why you need to find someone who challenges you, Someone who makes you feel like you're falling behind. Not to tear you down, but to force you to rise higher than you ever thought possible. That feeling of being outpaced, of watching someone else push beyond limits you haven't even reached yet. That's not failure. That's fuel. That's the fire that separates those who evolve from those who fade into mediocrity. Instead of resenting those who are ahead of you, use them. Let them remind you that you have more to give, that there's another level waiting for you. Because the truth is, the second you stop chasing, you start declining. So burn this into your mind. No one is coming to hand you success. You aren't entitled to greatness just because you want it. You earn it through sweat, sacrifice, and relentless effort. Either you take control of your growth, or you watch from the sidelines while others pass you by. The choice is yours, but understand this. Hesitation is the first step toward defeat. Some people see competition as a threat. They fear being outclassed, outrun, or overshadowed. But the truth is, having someone ahead of you is a gift. It forces you to confront your own limits, to push past what you thought was possible. You need that. You need someone who makes you uncomfortable, someone who reminds you that you're not there yet. Because that feeling, that hunger, is what keeps you moving forward. But let me make one thing clear. Never put them on a pedestal. Rivalry isn't about admiration. It's about conquest. Learn from them. Let their progress fuel your ambition, but never settle for second place. Your goal isn't to follow in their footsteps. It's to outpace them, to push harder, train longer, and evolve faster. One day, the ones you once chased will be chasing you. And when that day comes, you'll understand that true growth isn't about keeping up. It's about taking the lead. That doesn't mean the process has to be miserable. Growth is supposed to challenge you, but it should also excite you. The struggle, the setbacks, the moments where you wonder if you can keep going. That's what makes it all worth it. When you push past your limits, when you fight through the exhaustion and come out stronger on the other side, there's no better feeling in the world. I didn't start with anything special. No shortcuts, no easy path, just my will to keep going, no matter what. And every time I lost, I got back up. That's the only secret to success. Persistence. Not waiting for the right moment, not hoping for an easy way out, just stepping into the fire and refusing to back down. You will fail, you will struggle, but so what? Get up, try again, push forward. Because if you keep moving, if you refuse to quit, one day you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. And that moment, that's worth every ounce of pain. So stop hesitating. Stop looking for an easy way. You have more inside you than you realize, but you'll never see it if you stay in place. Start moving. You think you have time? You think you can wait until the moment feels right? That's the lie of the weak. The ones who never rise tell themselves they have potential, that someday, somehow, everything will fall into place. But warriors, they don't talk about what they could be. They prove it through action. The clock is ticking. Every second you hesitate, someone else is out there grinding, getting stronger, leaving you behind. I've pushed my body past the breaking point, trained until my lungs burned, until my muscles begged for relief, until every part of me screamed to stop. But I didn't, because pain is the toll you pay for power. The ones who complain about the struggle will never understand what it takes to be great. There's no reward for those who stop when it gets tough, only for those who push through again and again until weakness has no place left to hide. You are not an exception. You are not entitled to success. You don't earn greatness by dreaming about it. You take it, or you stay exactly where you are, forgotten, insignificant, just another face in the crowd. Every excuse you make, every moment you waste, is another opportunity slipping through your fingers. The harsh truth? No one is coming to save you. If you don't rise up and claim what's yours, someone else will. So stop waiting. Stop searching for an easier path. It doesn't exist. You have a choice. Stay the same, trapped in mediocrity, or rise above everything that has held you back. What will it be? Because the toughest battles aren't against an opponent you can see. They're against the version of you that settles, that hesitates, that stops short when it matters most. It's easy to fight an enemy in front of you, but to fight your own weakness? That requires something greater than strength. It requires total awareness, relentless discipline, and the will to never back down. How many times have you told yourself, "Tomorrow is the day I start"? How many times have you backed down the moment things got tough? Be honest. How many times have you chosen comfort over growth? Fear over action. That hesitation, that voice in your head telling you to wait, that's your real opponent. And every time you listen to it, you let it win. If you truly want to become stronger, you must stop seeing pain as something to avoid. Pain is not the enemy. It is the map that shows you where your limits are. And once you see those limits, your job is simple. Destroy them. The discomfort, the struggle, the exhaustion. These are signs that you are on the edge of transformation. Weakness fades the moment you refuse to give in to it. I don't care where you are right now. I don't care if you feel behind, if you think you're not ready. None of that matters. What matters is whether you're willing to step forward, to keep moving when everything inside you screams to stop. Because if you do, if you refuse to surrender to your doubts and excuses, then I promise you this: you will change in ways you never thought possible. You want to talk about battles? Then listen carefully. Because the fight that truly matters isn't against someone else. It's against the version of you that settles, the version that hesitates, the version that makes excuses. And that battle, it starts now. The real battle isn't waged in an arena. It's fought in the smallest, most ordinary moments of your life. It's fought when the alarm goes off and you decide whether to rise or sink back into comfort. It's fought when your body aches, when exhaustion clouds your mind, when doubt creeps in, and you have to choose whether to push forward or break. And most of you, you've already surrendered. Why? Because you've let weakness settle into your routine. Because you've allowed laziness to whisper excuses in your ear. Because you've mistaken comfort for progress, convincing yourself that waiting for the right time is the same as taking action. But enough. That stops now. If you truly want strength, then start living like it. Stop looking for motivation. It's unreliable, fleeting. Instead, cultivate discipline, the kind that forces you to move when you don't feel like it. Get up earlier, train harder, endure more, because no one is coming to hand you greatness. You either take it, or you remain exactly where you are. Do you think Kakarot and I reached this level by waiting for inspiration? By hoping the perfect opportunity would come? No, we didn't wait for the moment. We took it. We seized every second, pushed through every barrier, and turned adversity into fuel. And that's exactly what you must do.